This is Carter Bryant for Tigers Roar out here at the LSU practice facility, and I have a simple question for people watching this program tonight. Did LSU's most productive player this season get robbed out of a chance for a prestigious award that a player such as Glenn Dorsey has won in the past? Senior defensive tackle Drake Nevis has had an unbelievable season, but last week when the Lombardi Trophy finalists, which is the trophy given to the best lineman in college football, offensive or defensive, were announced, Drake Nevis did not make it in the 4 finalists. Now, I can give you my opinion, but I'm just a journalist. But we're actually going to go and catch up with Kelvin Shepard and Joseph Barksdale, both teammates for Nevis all the way through all their college careers, for their opinion on Nevis's stellar senior season.
Me and Drake are roommates, and you know, ever since I've known Drake, we've always tried to compete against each other, just as far as how much weight we could lift, how long we've stayed watching film, just different little things like that. He's a very competitive person, and he works really hard.
Well, on the field, I don't really have to speak on that. I don't think his numbers, and when you turn the film on, that speaks for itself. But away from the field, I can speak on that and the things he does, just by his action. Drake doesn't say too much. He's one of those guys that lead by example. And during the summer, I told everybody in every interview I had, I said to look out for Drake because I know the way he works. He came out every day in summer drills, and he was hyped up every time to go out and try to win a national championship and contribute to this team like he is now.
What I see is the teams that we play against, and what I see is how he plays week in and week out, how he leads my team, and how the kind of person that he is.
And for the team, whatever the team needs me to do, I try to do it to the best of my ability.
After the defensive tackle brought in an interception against Mississippi State, Coach Les Miles had a very interesting way in describing the play.
It's hard for me to say, boy, Drake, that was an athletic interception. I think what he did prior to the interception was athletic. I think what he did with the ball was he caught a chocolate chip cookie.
I don't know what he means about the chocolate chip cookie.
So now we have the players and Coach Miles' thoughts on Nevis' senior season so far. Now let's look at the numbers. Let's compare Nevis to 2 other finalists that have made it, Adrian Claiborne of Iowa and Nick Fairley of Auburn. Let's also look at last year's winner and Ndamukong Suh's stats up to this point in the season. As we clearly could see here, Nick Fairley and Adrian Claiborne are both over 40 tackles on the season, with Fairley barely edging out Claiborne in the solo tackles category. But Nick Fairley this year for Auburn has been a ferocious pass rusher with 8 sacks. Claiborne, on the other hand, has not quite lived up to the preseason hype. Now let's bring in last year's winner, Ndamukong Suh. Up to this point in the season, Suh had 56 tackles, 31 of which were solos, and 4 sacks on the season. Drake Nevis, on the other hand, 49 tackles with 6 sacks, 28 of those tackles being solo. But the most important thing with Drake Nevis is his ability to force turnovers. His 2 forced fumbles this year are more forced fumbles than the other 3 candidates here combined in their whole careers. And Nevis had one of these forced fumbles when his team really needed it the most. And most LSU Tiger fans will never forget it. This play against the Alabama Crimson Tide in the 4th quarter.
Down. Ball's out. Guess who? Drake Nevis.
After his stellar performance against Alabama, Drake Nevis was named National Defensive Player of the Week by the Walter Camp Foundation. I then asked him soon after, once again, about those wonderful chocolate chip delicacies.
Not this time. I had some cake.
So after going through all the stats and how Nevis stacks up against the other best defensive linemen in the country, let's just think about this for a second, people. Earlier this year, we talked about Patrick Peterson and his quest for being a Heisman Trophy finalist in New York City. I think LSU fans should do the same campaigning for Drake Nevis to be a finalist in Houston for the Lombardi Trophy. This is once again Carter Bryant out here for Tigers Roar at the LSU practice facility. Go out there and support Nevis, who many consider the hardest working player on the team.
It's sad that he's not in the finals. I would think that he would be compared with the very best in this country across the board. The only thing I can tell you, if they're any better than him, they're very deserving.
I watch college football all the time, and I don't see any other defensive lineman doing the things that Drake do every Saturday.
He understands that, you know, sometimes things don't go the way that, you know, you plan for him to. I personally think, you know, that he should definitely be on that list, but I mean, there's, you know, nothing any of us could do about it. So, I mean, knowing Drake, he'll probably just keep working.
Just trying to contribute to the team the best way I can.